Greetings, petrolheads! Welcome back to Automation, the car company tycoon games. So, I've gotten myself a little bit of an overview of where we are in the ESE campaign, and we're due a replacement for this guy, the 1988 ESE Conqueror. It's a decent car overall. It is a rear drive sports car basically, and we have some sport interior, only 2 seats, premium cassette, a 2-door coupe. So we're looking for something to replace this one, and we are gonna do so right now. So the year is gonna be 1995, and we need a coupe body. So basically, I don't want this to be mid-engined. So what we could do is something like this. Let's see, how morphable is this? Can I only morph the lower part of this? I cannot. I can make it like that. Like this. Really low nose. The fact that this bumper here is like, I don't like the way this front end is shaped. It doesn't really complement the ESE signature grille, but maybe I can make it work regardless. I can change that. I can make this like slope down like this, and we can make that look a little bit more cheeky like that, a little bit more aggressive, extend that a little bit. Yeah, well, let's see, how is the engine bay looking on this guy? Oh yeah, well, we don't have a chassis yet. So it is gonna be a monocoque, obviously. Corrosion resistant steel, because this is not gonna be like a supercar or anything like that. Longitudinal engine placement. Let's go with a McPherson front and multi-link rear. That used to be pretty popular back then, and still is, I guess. And then plain aluminium panels are limited production only? That's weird. Like, almost every car today has aluminium panels. Or, well, I guess they have partial aluminium. Okay, I take that back. Not almost every single car, but every, premium German premium cars, for example, BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, they're usually from aluminium, or, well, I guess partial aluminium is what that would be classified as, because not the entire body is made from aluminium, but still. Okay, that doesn't look that bad. Almost looks sort of like a Mustang. And we are gonna put a badge here. It is 1995, so pop-up headlights are pop-up headlights are still totally fine to go for. Nothing out of the ordinary back then. Although 1995 is, sort of late for, making a new car that has pop-up headlights. At that point they were sort of dying out. these are those instead. Yeah, like this, and perhaps, well, obviously we need some indicators, but I think I want to put those like here. And then maybe some regular headlights somewhere here. That makes it look almost Ferrari-like, which is good. Also, I think we're gonna make the grille a little bit shorter, so that this can be longer. And we're gonna give this thing a lip a little bit later. For now, we are gonna worry about the front bumper. Which I want to take just a simple grille, like this one. Put not a badge, a number plate on top of this. Perhaps some simple vents down here as well. A bit taller, so like this, and then a lip to round it off. Yes, okay, I like that look. Then some side indicators. And some more side indicators on the rear, like right there. I don't think I want to add a lip to this thing. What sort of styling though? Okay, first I think I'm gonna worry about the bumper, which is gonna be fairly simple again, I think. Like this. Another lip, excuse me. And because it's gonna have a V8, it's gonna have dual exhaust as well, or quad exhausts at that. And a number plate like this. With some braking lights in here, I guess. And then I'm gonna worry about the actual taillight design. Make him smaller. And I think what I'm gonna do is make something like this. And then, where do I go from here? First of all, put a badge here. Will this be visible if I do this? No. Nope. Okay. I can already get a preview of what's gonna be visible if I put it in here. If you look... Oh, here it seems fine. Yep, here it's pretty fine. So if I just make this a little bit... What if I make this a little bit thinner? And then make this smaller overall. Move it here. Okay, that's gonna fuck things up. What? How can I make this thing look better? I guess I need to put this down where it belongs and then play with this a little bit. Like in terms of how thick it should be. Oh, yeah, well, that's not what I intended. A little bit wider, perhaps. You see, all I want is really a thin white stripe on the side. So maybe what I'm gonna do instead is something like that. Oh, actually, wait, give me a second. Yes, okay, that's good. And then the indicator is gonna go in here somewhere. Maybe that's a little bit futuristic for like 1995. I don't know. Maybe it isn't. That's too much indicator. And then, to round it up, I think I'm gonna place down one of these. No, I don't think I need that. A little bit of chrome, perhaps, somewhere. I'll just have... Wait, give me a second. Just have this be surrounded by something. Okay, well, here goes the next generation Conqueror. Oh, no, not yet. Because we need bigger tires probably. Oh, actually the rear end is pretty generous already on this body. 275s. Still gonna flare them just a little bit for aesthetic reasons. And yeah, now this is fine. We can also make this a roadster. It is gonna be river drive, kind of obviously. And let's see, we are gonna build a new 5-liter block from aluminium with a dual overhead cam system and VVL this time. Because it's at 1995 where basically at the very least, Honda and BMW already had a sort of VVT and VVL system, VTEC and Venus, you know. So I figured it's about time that ESE does that too, because they've been using 4 valves per cylinder for a long time already, and might as well get on par with, you know, the best car makers at this point. Should I make it perfectly square? 92.5 times 92.5? Oh, this is exactly 5 liters then. Good. For this one, I'm gonna use I-beam steel and then forged pistons. EVT on all cams. I'm gonna tune this later. I'm just gonna set it to a certain amount right now. It is gonna be naturally aspirated. It's gonna have multi-point EFI, which at this point is also kind of like very, very standard already in 1995. We're gonna give it throttle per cylinder setup for better throttle response. 13.5 to 1 seems like a reasonable amount of fuel mixture right now. 6500 RPM, long turbo headers. Yeah, I think this is roughly the amount of power we're gonna make. 2 straight full mufflers. Oh, actually we're making a lot more. This needs to be detuned. Higher cam profile perhaps? No. Okay, we're getting to a more reasonable torque curve. The writing is directly above the graph, so it's a little bit harder to see what is actually happening with this torque curve. Now it looks pretty flat. 384 horsepower. Let me see. Let's see how high we can rev this. We already have valve float. Now we're also making some. Now we're also having some bottom end issues. So I'm gonna tune this less aggressively. We can always make a more sporty version later. 375 horsepower. Should still be enough, honestly. We're still making, we're still having bottom end issues. And valve float as well. Actually, wait. Now everything's green. Oh, we got a little bit of valve float. That little bit of valve float is not worrying me very much though. And I think we're gonna move on now. It's gonna be the 1995 ESE 5 liter. The ESE 5 liter is just one of the consistent namings of the engine blocks. Like, you're gonna have the 5 liter block in many years. many different cars are gonna have a 5 liter block. So okay, that is the NA 375 horsepower, I think. This is gonna be the ESE Conqueror Mk II. It is gonna have a 6-speed manual gearbox, which is pretty much standard at that point. Well, not really standard, but for a sports car at least. Many sports cars have a 6-speed manual in 1995. We're gonna be chasing top speed here. Geared LSD. No, let's go for a viscous LSD. Let's keep it a little bit more realistic. Geared LSDs in 1995 are a little bit on the high-tech side. So what we're gonna do is give this thing a good bit of rubber. .355s on the rear. 235s up front should be fine. Alloy rims. Some nice design here. And vented discs up front and solid discs on the rear, I think. 300 millimeters. 310 up front. Fully clad under tray. Don't need this much downforce. Let's go down to 30 or so. And then this will be right around where we need it. Yeah, let's give this a 4-seater interior, because you know we didn't really have another 4-seater in our lineup other than the hot hatchback. Sport interior, I misclicked. Standard cassette, and it's at this point I think that we are gonna fit power steering, because it's getting tougher and tougher to sell cars without power steering unless they're like super exotics, which this kind of isn't. I'm gonna go with progressive springs here. Let's go a little more high-tech and adaptive dampers here, and yeah, passive sway bars should be good enough here. And I'm gonna tweak the suspension a little bit later. 37.8 drivability is a good first result. Let's see, what do we got? We got lots of drivability, not so much sportiness yet. This brought up both. And also reduced the bottoming out. Yeah, we are definitely gonna increase the spring stiffness. And then maybe raise the ride height a little bit. Unless this allows us to... No. This helps us with the bottoming out. Okay, and then that is also good, and now we can get rid of the bottoming out altogether. How about brake fade? This is good. .310 front and the rear. Right, how about performance? 5.7 seconds from 0 to 100 is nothing to sneeze at. That is really not bad at all. We are making a lot of wheel spin. Running sports tires. Yeah, I don't really wanna fit super wide tires here. We're just gonna make this thing fun. It does pull rather nicely though. It's a little bit muted for my own taste though, so let's get rid of one of those mufflers. That obviously lowered comfort by quite a bit. Also lowered drivability by 0.2. Actually no, only 0.1. And let's see how she sounds now. Better. And the acceleration is quite good now. What about the airfield track? $124.6, which is not super impressive. But this is also not, you know, we can get some more performance out of this thing. If we just play around with the camera a little bit. Oh, you know what? Rather than playing around with the camber, we could just fit slightly wider front tires. Yep. Now this thing should have better cornering. Like... It should have better turn in. Yep, and that already shaved off half a second from the airfield track time. 124.1 is actually really good at this point. Like for a 1995 two-door four-seater, almost like a Grand Touring Coupe, because this is not tuned very aggressively on the suspension or on the engine. It does have a standard cassette entertainment. It has sport interior. Well, if I'm gonna make it a Grand Tourer though, I might as well fit it with better equipment, right? Because otherwise it's like, you know, half sports car, half GT, but none of which it would do really well. So that would be suboptimal for marketing purposes. Light Sport Premium Sport Track. What do we do with this thing? 36.6 to 36.3 is a pretty good number combination here between drivability and sportiness. But which direction do I really want to take this thing? I don't want to fit wider tires because it's gonna get somewhat unrealistic for 1995. The top speed is really good. I could give it some downforce, but I don't really know if it needs it. What if I fit premium CD? That'll not reduce sportiness at all. It'll add 20 kilograms of weight, which should help weight distribution. It'll add almost 4 points of comfort, some prestige, some safety, and a little bit of drivability as well. So it should not hurt performance very much. No, it didn't. It didn't hurt it very much at all. 124.17 compared to 124.10. So that is a very minor difference indeed. Oh, how about the quarter mile actually? It's a 13.76, so 13.8 you could say, which is not bad. I am gonna go with slightly longer gearing though, which is gonna reduce wheel spin by quite a bit. It'll help drivability and sportiness. And maybe we're faster now? Not really. But it did at least improve drivability. Yeah, and it does help the track time here as well a little bit. So I think at this point I might as well call it good for now. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please click the like button or subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.